Can you imagine? It has been reported that the Senate is looking for a way to extend Natasha Akpoti's suspension, at least for the whole duration, till 2027. Can you imagine that? How can senators who were elected the same way that Natasha Akpoti was elected to office has the power to suspend their colleague, another senator, throughout the rest of their tenure for 6 months? Is that not violation of human rights or violation of the Nigerian constitution? Because they were not the one who appointed her or who elected her to office in the first place. I think it is only the electorate, who voted for her, the people of our community, that has that right or that should have that right to do that. But anyway, there have been allegations that, that is what the Senate is planning currently. They will conduct a kangaroo investigation and say that, the result of the investigation has cleared Akpabio of all sexual harassment allegation, and then they will proceed to suspend Natasha Akpoti for the rest of her tenure as a senator, all through to 2027. You guys, before we delve right into the details of today's news, if this is your first time here or you have not subscribed to this channel, what are you doing? Please go ahead and subscribe. Like this video, also leave your opinions in the comment section below. Senate President Akpabio is reportedly considering stepping down temporarily as part of a plan to clear his name of sexual harassment allegations while paving the way for the indefinite suspension of Senator Natasha Akpoti. Sources within the Senate reveal that the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions will conduct an investigation into the allegations against Akpabio. The panel is expected to officially exonerate him from recommending the indefinite suspension of Senator Natasha, who accused him of sexual harassment amid a dispute over sitting arrangements in the Senate chamber. Insiders in the federal legislature revealed that both Akpabio and Natasha are set to appear before the committee in the coming days. The alleged plan is to have Akpabio step aside briefly to fulfill all righteousness, only for the committee to clear him of all wrongdoing. This would then be followed by Natasha's suspension for the remainder of her tenure. The investigation will be led by Senator Neda Omazwen. It is alleged that the recent statement by Senator Ireti Kingibe and Senate Deputy Chief Whip Onyekachi Onweboyi are part of this well-made plan. Kingibe, who initially criticized Natasha for a reaction to the seat's reassignment, has now pledged to support an investigation into the sexual harassment claim. First, I would like to assure Nigerians that I will be at the forefront to champion the sexual harassment case involving my colleague, Senator Natasha Akpoti, when the investigation comes to the Red Chamber. I am aware of a narrative that has been going around, and to set the record straight, my actions were not to undermine our claims, but to buttress that I was not aware in the first place of any such happenings. Notwithstanding, I remain steadfast in the fight against all forms of violence against girls and women, a statement on Friday said. Meanwhile, Onweboyi, during an interview with Channels Television, confirmed that both Akpabio and Natasha would appear before the investigative panel, along with other senators who were present during the alleged incident. A top Senate source disclosed that the goal is to ensure Natasha remains suspended for the rest of her tenure. The plan currently being orchestrated is to suspend Natasha Akpoti till the end of her tenure in 2027. The report of a panel is already being prepared, and the panel itself is just a formality. Akpabio will announce that he is stepping down temporarily to face investigation. After a few hours, the committee will declare him innocent, and Natasha will be suspended indefinitely, the source revealed. The conflict between the two senators escalated after Senator Natasha Akpoti accused Akpabio of sexually harassing her during a visit to his residence in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. In December 2023, according to her, Akpabio held her hand, led her around the house, and made inappropriate advances, even in the presence of her husband. Prior to that, Natasha had refused to accept a new seat in the chamber. She was eventually suspended for 6 months over what the Senate labeled a misconduct. The decision was based on a report by the Senate Ethics Committee, chaired by Senator Neda Omazwen. Following a suspension, she was restrained from coming close to the Senate building. She was also instructed to surrender all official property to the Clerk of the National Assembly, among other penalties. You all, let's have your total opinions in the comment section. It will be so pitiful, it will be so sad if the Senate succeeds in carrying out, this ugly plan, because it's not even legal. I do not even think, even with the 6 months suspension, a lot of people have been saying that they do not have a right to do that. They only have a right to suspend the senator for 14 months. Despite the fact that it is clear in the Constitution, it's not like they do not know. They still go ahead suspending senators for more than 14 days, which is the recommended suspension time. If at all the Senate wants to, discipline any senator, it should be 14 days. But these senators, however, have always done this, and I think that 6 months is the highest so far, and the punishment that have been melted out to Natasha is the worst so far that I've ever seen, a senator get at the Senate chamber. It's pitiful. It's pitiful, like I said. I hope that they do not succeed in doing this. It means they want to turn Nigeria upside down if they are able to do this. And I also recommend that, an independent committee, an independent agency like the ICPC should be able to handle this matter. I do not think that the matter should just be handled within the Senate. This matter should be handled by an independent committee, someone who cannot be biased, because these are also senators that, are thinking that, okay, let me not, this is our Senate president. We should not be so harsh on him. We don't want to destroy the integrity of the Senate, because that is what they have been hammering on. It's like the integrity of the Senate is more important than the person who is trying to tarnish the integrity of the Senate himself. That is, the Senate president is the one, because if you did not sexually harass her, she would not say you sexually harass her, and the almighty name of the Senate wouldn't have been put in disrepute. You put the Senate in that position, but, they just choose to ignore all of that facts, but they are insisting that, because of the misconduct, because of the decorum malformation, or what should we say, or because of how Natasha conducted herself at the floor of a Senate, is what they are hammering on to give 6 months suspension. An independent committee should handle this, and not senators who are looking to get favor from the eyes of a Senate president. Anyway, guys, before we go, let's take a look at a few reactions we got online. The first comment says, from Okechukwu, says, God will punish you all in the red chamber for your evil against the woman. Senator Natasha Akpoti is right, and Akpabio must resign from seat, as a man with such actions should be behind bars. Exactly. Victor Ofuoma says, indefinite suspension of her beloved personality, Natasha, is not the end of her life. Akpabio, learn how to control your this thing. You're too corrupt, as in it. Eniola says, since when? After you have make your plans with the Senate, let's have your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. What do you all think of this? Thank you very much for always listening and watching, guys. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye for now.